Hi, everyone. Thanks for hopping on our presentation. Today, we're going to be talking with you all about organizational networks. We have Kyle, Brittany, Courtney, and Myra here to walk you through what organizational networks are.
Organizations are complex entities with many working parts. In this presentation, our group discusses organizational networks in detail, including key terms within the study of organizational networks, how these networks affect communication, who organizational networks impact, and what the steps and stages are that help keep organizational networks up and running.
There are many key terms that could be defined when discussing organizational networks. But first, it is important to define what exactly organizational networks are. There are kind of two definitions that fall under the term organizational networks. First, organizational networks could refer to three or more organizations that decide to collaborate, share resources, and work together. But more commonly, organizational networks refer to the methods through which communication flows within a single organization. And that second definition is the one that our group really focused on throughout the presentation. Another key term that appears when discussing organizational networks is communication. Communication refers to the way information is shared, received, and interpreted within the organizational network. In our presentation, we'll discuss how communication occurs in a variety of ways, such as through interpersonal conversations or digitally through web platforms and emails. The next key term that we identified was team. And while the actual term used could be referenced in several different ways, such as teams, coworkers, employees, group members, like for this project, and so forth, the definition is the same. A team refers to a group of individuals that is working together and communicating with one another within the organizational network.
All right, organizational networks and communication. Organizational communication is reliant on organizational networks. Without one, the other could not exist. The type of networks used in organizational communication is important and can differ from organization to organization. Regardless of the type of network communication used, the most important thing is connecting individuals to accomplish a common organizational goal. Communication tool examples would be the internet. That's a great way to connect people and have efficient organizational communication. Using sources such as Google Docs and other websites such as Monday.com help with team task organization, communication, and help everyone remain on the same page regarding organizational projects. Emails and staff meetings are also used to update each other on project milestones and deadlines.
Who is the focus of organizational networks?
So as was mentioned previously, organizational networks are the methods that an organization uses to communicate. So this means that the focus of organizational networks are the team members utilizing them at any given time. Some organizations create unique social networks where organizational information is embedded through their own like employee websites and things like that. But as Kyle mentioned, a lot of people use things such as Google Docs, Monday.com, interpersonal emails, staff meetings, things like that, in order to make sure that everybody who is on the team is understanding what is going on within the organizational network, and really puts the focus on those team members that are trying to work together. We have some different examples of organizational networks and the audiences within those different organizational networks. The first example we came up with was school districts. Each classroom in a school is a branch of an organizational network, and every individual school is an organization that can make up an organizational network. Another example is law firms. Law firms often combine the talents of their team members in order to work together on cases. Each lawyer is a team member within the organizational network. Law firms, kind of nodding to that other definition we talked about at the beginning, can even combine with other firms to create a more diverse organizational network and have inter-department and inter-organizational ties that make them able to work together. A last example we came up with is the government. The federal government is one of the most complex organizational networks. The federal government is made up of many different sectors and organizations that are all part of an intricate network that is the federal government. Then there's each state, and within each state, there are counties that are each part of a network of their own. All of those examples show us that organizational networks can be created to prepare any organization to meet a common goal. By creating organizational networks, bonds within the organization are strengthened.
As we have heard Kyle and Courtney mention throughout the presentation today, we know that organizational networks are really interdependent on one another. The means and methods of communication may vary, but the steps or stages of organizational networks will always remain the same, meaning we're always going to see the same steps or stages that an organization will take. Generally, there are 5 basic steps or stages of organizational networks. We will have clarifying purpose, gathering the right people, building trust, coordinating our actions, and collaboration. What you're going to see is that these steps can occur at any given point in time. You may even see that these steps will repeat themselves multiple times as the organization grows and changes and expands, as the networks expand. Each party will need to know the purpose. You want to make sure that the organization is gathering the right people, that you're building that trust, that you're collaborating and coordinating your actions within your departments, but also within each corporation or organization that you are collaborating with. Following these steps will help drive home to all participants involved the context and purpose of the organization. It will build authentic relationships between departments and even between companies that will help bridge potential divides. But they are also the foundation to a successful collaborative network processes, including all pertinent individuals involved in your meetings, in your emails, finding that common ground and reinforcing that everyone really has a shared purpose helps ensure your network's success. So in conclusion, we've discussed and we now know that organizational networks require successful communication and teamwork in order to function properly. If working efficiently, organizational networks can be bridges between departments or between different organizations. Although each organization, each department, each employee brings their own experiences and has their own way of working, these networks allow a diverse group of individuals to collaborate and find success for their organization.